Hey guys, welcome back to Math with Miss L. Today we are going to talk about lesson 6, which is geometric terms and angles. As fourth graders, shout out to my fourth graders, we are just learning about angles. Geometric terms, you kind of went over that last year with Miss Armstrong or Miss Matouche or anyone else. So stay tuned. If you are looking at our scavenger hunt or escape room, have some fun with that. All right, here we go. So for today, we're going to go over a few terms, like what type of angles are there and what are they measured in. And then we're going to go over a few examples. So here we go. The first type of angle I want to talk about is one that we see all around us in the world. And they're even on the corners of our papers. And those type of angles, this is a type of angle. So is that. So is that. Okay, what am I talking about? An angle that makes an L shape, either correctly or backwards, and sometimes even on its side. They're usually recognizable by a little square inside of them. These are what are called right angles. So right angles always, always, always are exactly 90 degrees. So this does not mean degrees Fahrenheit if we're talking about temperature, my little scientists. This is degrees as in the measurement of an angle. So degrees Fahrenheit is measuring temperature. Degrees right here, we are measuring an angle. So let's remember that, please. So that is one example of a type of angle. I'm going to put a line there. The next type of example that we have, I call them really cute. They're very cute. They remind me of a greater than or less than sign, or if you're saying peace out, that's also a type of angle. So these types of angles, you could also think of it, someone said a candy corn yesterday during one of my mini lessons. I thought that's really cool. Or like a mountain peak, like a peak of a mountain. These are what we call acute angles. And I like to think of it as a cute. You have the lovely word cute in there. So a cute angle. So acute. And these are all less than 90 degrees. So for my fourth graders out there, if you're thinking, well, any degree from 1 to 89 degrees can be considered an acute angle. So even 89 degrees. So what happens if it's exactly 90? Right angle. What if it's 91 degrees? Okay, let's talk about it. So I like to call these types of angles my chillax angles. They love to chill, and it looks like they love to chill because it looks like they are reclining or on a reclining chair. If you like to game out there, my gamers, shout out, you will love this angle because it looks like they are chilling out like on their gaming chair. Okay, so those are obtuse angles, and I like to think of obtuse angles as the that's a big angle. Okay, that is a big angle because they are pretty big. These are greater than 90 degrees. So anywhere between 91 degrees all the way to 179 degrees. I wonder why we have to stop at 179 degrees. Well, I'm going to tell you why. Just stay tuned. So the last type of angle I want to talk about right now is an angle that actually measures. How do I want to do this? I'm going to give you the exact measurement first. So the definition for this one is exactly 180 degrees. So this type of angle is exactly 180 degrees. I'm going to give you an example. This right here is 180 degrees. This side right here is 180 degrees. So is this one. This is 180 degrees. This line, I just said it. Oh man. So these are all lines or angles and they are called straight angles. Straight angles. And they just look like lines. And they have a little, these guys, these curves are how we can tell that they're angles, and they let us know that they are measuring. They don't always have those lines, but sometimes they do. So right now, we're going to take a couple of examples and break them down so we know how to tackle angles in everyday life. All right, stay tuned. All right, guys, so if you're doing your exit ticket, or if you're even doing your scavenger hunt, these are all very familiar, and you'll see them there. So let's get started. Right now, we have a few different angles, and we also have a few different lines over here that we're going to get to. So number one, first off, if it looks like a perfect L, that is great. Sometimes we actually have to measure it, but sometimes if it just asks us to classify what the actual angle is, we can just name it without having to be exact on the degree. So remember, each corner of your piece of paper or reference chart is 90 degrees. So if you line it up with that angle and it's exactly lining up, then it is called a right angle. And you guys might be wondering, how do we classify angles? It's usually either on the degree measurement or on the attributes. Attributes meaning what it looks like or what it is like. So you can tell this one, Miss LaFuente always likes to draw a line that is perpendicular. Perpendicular means it makes a right angle, so an L. So this dotted line is perpendicular to our flat line because it makes a right angle right here. That's 90 degrees right there. So if anything is above or greater than 90 degrees, it should automatically be an obtuse angle because it is greater. If y'all can read my handwriting, that says greater than 90 degrees, okay? Number three, we can tell it's pretty tiny. And if you were going to draw, that perpendicular line as straight as you can tell that it is less. It's less than 90 degrees. So if you have your anchor chart that we just made that says less than, this would be known as an acute angle because it is less than 90 degrees. It's a cute one. So that's that. Number four is interesting. So we want to know about perpendicular lines and parallel lines. So first off, the word parallel, please remember that our two L's right here, they never touch. So that helps me remember parallel lines. They never touch, no matter where you put them. So for instance, if these were lines, well, they're not touching Miss L, but they will eventually. So they have to be in clear sight. They can never touch. So lines that can never touch, for instance, if you have line A and line B, well, they will never touch because they keep going in the opposite direction. If you keep continuing it, they will never touch. C and D will never touch. However, if you tell me line B and line C, C will touch B right here and right here. So B, the line will touch C and D. So automatically, those are not parallel lines. But if you're talking about parallel, like I said, I would say line A and B, because they're a pair. And I would say line C and line D. Now, what if I wanted to say perpendicular? Remember, perpendicular lines, I like to think of them as a cross. But sometimes, yes, I think of it as a cross. They have to make right angles. So if you look, so they intersect at one point. That means they touch at one point, but they need to make right angles for it to be perpendicular. So which lines are perpendicular to another? Well, like I said, if you were to put your point, right, a point on your intersecting lines, you could tell that line B and line C make a perfect L. So let me get down here so I can show you. Line B and C, because they make a perfect L. You could say if line B continues, which it does, line D also intersects with it, and it makes a right angle. So line B and D. There are a few examples. For instance, if we go with A, we see that A and C intersect here and they make a right angle. So I would say line A and C. Or if D continues, which it does, it intersects with A, I would say line A and D. And guys, with lines, you can cross them over, which means that you could say, oh, that's line D and A, or that's line C and A. It's kind of like the C property where you can flip or switch, kind of like multiplication. As long as they are both together, that's what matters. So I hope this helped. Miss LaFuente loves you guys. I miss you. If you're doing our scavenger hunt, hopefully you stayed all the way through to get all of your answers. All right, until next time, bye guys.